What if the strange creatures and eerie encounters that have captivated our imaginations for decades are not just folklore, but evidence of something far beyond our world? Some of the world's most famous cryptids, like the Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, and Mothman Encounters, have captured our curiosity and sparked endless theories. Are these elusive creatures mere myths, or do they represent something far more mysterious lurking just out of sight? Arguably, one of the most famous cryptids in the world is the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie. First reported in 1933 in Loch Ness, a large lake in the Scottish Highlands, Nessie is described as a long, serpentine creature with a small head and a hump-like body. Over the years, numerous photographs and videos have purported to show Nessie, though most have been debunked as hoaxes or misidentified objects. Despite this, Loch Ness continues to be a hotbed for cryptozoologists and curious tourists hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive beast. Some believe Nessie may be a surviving plesiosaur, a type of marine reptile thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Others speculate it could be a large eel or a giant catfish. While hard evidence remains elusive, the mystery of Loch Ness continues to thrive, with its deep waters adding an aura of uncertainty that only fuels the legend. While Letty lurks in the deep, cold waters of Loch Ness, another cryptid roams the shadows of Latin American folklore, leaving a trail of mystery and blood in its wake. The Chupacabra. The Chupacabra, whose name translates to goat sucker in Spanish, is a cryptid most commonly associated with Latin American folklore, though sightings have spread to other parts of the Americas. The creature is said to attack livestock, particularly goats, draining their blood in a manner that leaves behind strange puncture wounds. The first reported sighting occurred in Puerto Rico in 1995, when residents reported unusual deaths among their animals. Descriptions of the Chupacabra vary, but it's typically depicted as a reptilian creature with spines along its back or a strange, hairless, canine-like creature. Some believe the Chupacabra is an alien or genetically altered animal, while others argue it could be a mangy dog suffering from a disease. Like Nessie, the Chupacabra remains a mystery, with reports still emerging from various countries. And as the Chupacabra prowls in the night, another winged enigma haunts the skies of West Virginia, Mothman, whose eerie presence has become forever tied to tragedy and fear. The Mothman, a winged creature with glowing red eyes, first gained notoriety in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in 1966. Eyewitnesses described the Mothman as a large, humanoid figure with wings and unsettling, glowing eyes. Over the next year, several people reported sightings of the creature, and some claimed it appeared before major tragedies, including the collapse of the Silver Bridge in 1967, which killed 46 people. The connection between Mothman and the disaster led to widespread speculation, with some believing the creature was a harbinger of doom. The Mothman legend has persisted, and Point Pleasant now boasts a Mothman museum, attracting enthusiasts and researchers from around the world. These cryptids remind us that the world is filled with mysteries waiting to be unraveled, and they are not the only ones. We have barely scratched the surface of the true magnitude of the cryptids in the world. So let's take a look at 3 more cryptids that have been terrifying people for ages. Today, we'll be covering 3 creepy alien cryptid encounters. A cryptid is an animal or plant whose existence has been suggested, but not recognized by scientific consensus. This includes beings like Nessie, Bigfoot, and the Jersey Devil. Cryptids are usually prominent in folklore. Many of them also seem to have extraterrestrial origins. If you're interested in learning about some of these creepy encounters, let's dive right in. First, we have the Flatwoods Monster. As the name implies, it was encountered in the village of Flatwoods, West Virginia, on September 12, 1952. It was dusk. The brothers Ed and Freddie May had been playing in the schoolyard with their friend Tommy Heyer. As they watched, a pulsing red light streaked across the sky and crashed on a nearby farm. The 3 kids ran to inform Mrs. May, then hightailed it out the hill to check out the crash site. They were accompanied by a few other boys and a dog, too. As soon as they arrived, they ran back down screaming in terror. Even the dog fled. According to a later news report, Lennon saw a 10-foot alien with a bloody red body and green face that seemed to glow. The monster also seemed to have claws and was surrounded by a thick mist. 7 Braxton County residents on Saturday reported seeing a 10-foot Frankenstein-like monster in the hills above Flatwoods, was the headline published in a local newspaper. This encounter eventually made national news. It soon became the terror of the nation. Project Blue Book got involved too. If you've watched some of our previous videos, you'll recall Blue Book was the government body investigating numerous other UFO sightings. More than 6 decades later, the Flatwoods Monster still endures as a local legend. To this day, tourists come out of their way to Flatwoods to visit its monster museum and buy green monster trinkets and t-shirts. Opinions are divided between true believers and skeptics. On hearing the initial reports, state police laughed them off as hysteria. They said the so-called monster had grown from 7 to 17 feet in 24 hours. John Gibson, a Flatwoods High School freshman at the time, had his doubts too. In a recent interview, he said, "I don't believe in the Easter Bunny, I don't believe in Santa, and I don't believe in the Flatwoods Monster, but I do want to boost our community." He has since sold thousands of his 12-inch tall ceramic green monster figurines at $30 a piece. On the other hand, local newspaper publisher A. Lee Stewart seemed to believe the reports. "These people were the most scared I've ever seen," he said in a 1952 news story. Stewart himself had marched up that hill with a shotgun after hearing the news. He believes that the fear the other witnesses showed was genuine and not easy to fake. Next up, let's take a look at Bigfoot. Bigfoot is probably one of the most famous cryptids, and you've likely heard of it too. In fact, Bigfoot may not be a singular creature, but a species. Sightings of Bigfoot have been reported all across the world, from North America to Tibet, to India, China, and even Australia. The Bigfoot is commonly described as a heavy, bipedal humanoid ape. It stands around 8 to 10 feet tall and has long arms. It has dense fur, ranging in colors from red to white to brown. It has very large feet, which is why it's called Bigfoot. Even in 2022, people are still reporting sightings of Bigfoot. The encounters happened twice in South Carolina, once on July 5th and then another time on August 2nd. The first sighting was reported in York County in York Caroline Cut. Power outages seem to be common during Bigfoot sightings. A professional forester reported hearing a gnawing noise. There was also a strange smell in the area. He said he found a large area of grass that was compressed. It was as if something large was sleeping there regularly. The second setting was in Hunting Island State Park, near the lighthouse. The person who reported it stated that they saw a creature walking on the side of the road in front of their car. The creature soon disappeared into the lush forest. It was not seen again afterward. Some people believe that Bigfoot is a descendant of prehistoric humans or apes. Others claim it's an extraterrestrial. In fact, fossils of extinct giant apes have been found that may be Bigfoot's ancestors. These fossils show signs that the extinct giant apes were more advanced than other primates. Could there have been early experiments in alien DNA manipulation? And why did the species die out all of a sudden? No one knows for sure, but Bigfoot's existence might mean the legacy of the aliens is still being passed down. Lastly, we have our creepiest alien cryptid encounter on this list. Known only as the Green Man, or Indrid Cold, it is an alien that appears human, with one eerie difference: it never stops smiling. The first sighting was reported by Woodrow Derenberger in 1966. Derenberger was returning from a business trip one night when he stopped to adjust a sewing machine in the back of his truck. Once he got back on the road, he noticed lights ahead of him. Thinking the lights were police officers, he stopped again. Derenberger then discovered that the lights didn't belong to a car. There was an aircraft hovering ahead that looked like a kerosene lamp chimney. A tall man stepped out of a craft and approached his car. The man had a tan and thick, dark brown hair combed straight back. Derenberger claims the man looked completely normal, but a perpetual grin on the being's face gave it away. It also had its arms folded the whole time. Despite Derenberger hearing its voice, the grinning man never stopped smiling. He believes it was communicating telepathically. The grinning man introduced itself as Indrid Cold and stated it meant no harm, only happiness. It hailed from the planet Lamulus. 2 others like it were also on Earth, named Demo Hassarth and Carl Ardo. After Derenberger's televised interview, others came forward with claims they had seen the same man. One person reported being too afraid to stop when Indrid Cold flagged him down. Others said they saw lights and fluttering vehicles on the road where Derenberger had encountered Cold. Several witnesses also reported seeing Derenberger talking to Cold. Strangely, some of these subsequent reports described it with different features. According to them, Indrid Cold had no nose, ears, or hair. Perhaps that was Cold's true alien form under the human disguise. For the next month, Cold visited Derenberg often, along with the other two grinning men. Eventually, Derenberger's family became seeing Cold as well. The visit stopped after a while, but Derenberger's notoriety became unbearable. This notoriety only increased further after he wrote a book about his experience. Hounded by skeptics and curious visitors, he moved out of the area after divorcing his wife. Derenberger only moved back 23 years later, shortly before his death. He never spoke of Indrid Cold again. So what happened to the grinning man and its friends? Nobody knows for sure. Maybe it was a scout here and returned to Lanulos after completing its mission. Or maybe the alien was just lonely. As the mysteries of these 6 cryptids continue to captivate us, who knows what other legendary creatures are lurking just out of sight? Could the Jersey Devil be haunting the Pine Barrens? The elusive skunk ape watching us from the swamps? Or the terrifying Wendigo stalking the forests of the north? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe these cryptids are real, or are they just products of folklore? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more chilling tales of the unknown. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more spine-tingling content.